Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on in. The champs are here. The Fantasy Alarm family. Hopefully, you guys had a good season, took down your championships. Based on what I saw in the Fantasy Alarm Discord, there's a lot of champions in the house tonight. So hopefully, you guys did it. We made it. If you are playing this week still in your regular season league, you're a maniac. But guess what? We're here to help you.
And your commissioner is a monster.
I'll tell you, you know what? I get it. Whether it's tradition or you like the challenge or whatever reason, 2-week playoff, we're here to help. You know, I went and did the rankings. It was a nightmare doing them, but and they're still being updated constantly with guys in and out. But hey, we're doing it for you guys. We're doing it. But for a lot of us, championships already happened. They're in the books. Bender, what'd you win, man? I know I've listened to the radio. I've seen your tweets. I know you won at least 2, possibly 3, right?
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I thought I was a little concerned with one of those championship matchups going in, but Puka Nakua and not delivering. Blake Corum getting hurt saved my ass against Adam Ronis. I beat him by 0.9 in the SiriusXM Host League 1. Mazel tov to you, SiriusXM Host League 2. And the State Invitational here. So did Fantasy Alarm sweep all the meaningful SiriusXM leagues?
Dude, I was actually thinking about that. Well, I lost. So of my 5 championships, I won 4. I lost the one with the most money on it with my hometown league going back way since when. But every league I drafted this year that was either I was on the air or was broadcast on SiriusXM, I won. Maybe that's the secret. Maybe I should just try and do all because I won Independence Day, I won the Music League, I won the SiriusXM Host League, and I won the Kings Classic that was done live on air at the Expo too, dude. Let's go. Topped right in Bender's chair. I'm like, what would Bender do here, right? And that one, I'll tell you what, the Kings Classic one is special to me because that's one where I was like, you know what? 14-team league. If I'm going to win this, I'm going to do it with our strategies. I'm going to do it with the dynamic tier rankings. I'm going to go hard at running back and wide receiver. I'm going to wait and take 2 tight ends and 2 quarterbacks and let everybody else load up. And that worked. I had Justin Herbert and Trevor Lawrence, which was kind of they kind of both hit. But Hunter Henry and Kyle Pitts back and forth got me through some tough times. So, hey, it works. The strategy works, folks. So hopefully you guys in the chat won. Merry New Year to everybody as well, Raider Dave. Let us know if you guys won, what's going on with you. And I'll tell you what, on the website, we got all sorts of stuff coming up for you guys. I already have my basic strategy for FFPC Playoff Challenge. I'm going to have a specific strategy for FFPC Playoff. I'm going to have a little article on Underdog Best Ball. I want to make sure that, hey, if you guys want to keep playing, we're going to be there to play with you. And if you want to keep playing basketball and hockey and MMA and PGA and NASCAR, well, we got that too. So we're going to keep it going. But today's show, a little recap on the season, and then we'll get into some incentives, milestones, who's playing for what this week. Sound good, Bender?
That sounds great to me, man. Listen, I think it's fantastic, and yeah, I announced this on the Fantasy Alarm show yesterday. We're going to do our Fantasy Alarm free one and done contest, which we're super excited about. Last year we had a ridiculous number of people in it, and I've already got a full email box of people who want to jump in that. It's going to be free. All right, we're going to do some subscriptions as prizes, and then the folks over at RT Sports, they turned around and they offered up some bonus cash prizes as well, so that you guys can play in their contest next year, in their pick'em contest and everything like that. That they do over at RT Sports. And then, well, you know what? Our buddy Matt from USA Sports Fan Chains, he also turned around and said, whoever wins the one and done gets free chain.
Oh, let's go, dude.
Chain. So absolutely spectacular there. This was just such a great way, because I think we had a phenomenal 2024. I really do. We had a phenomenal 2024. And the fact that we surpassed all of that, like you said, you go in through Discord and everybody thanking us for the championships, posting screenshots of their winning games, things like that. People made a ton of money betting, DFS, and and doing all their best ball stuff there as well. Oh, poor Coop's all sick. This is what happens.
Very sick.
This is what happens when you have kids. They become these little
Everyone here.
bacteria bags who live in your house.
I actually, she
She's
was
like,
sick.
I want to tell you a secret, and then she coughs in your mouth.
And it never stops. It's just a big rotation. Like I think this is actually the second one. Like I just got that's the thing. She gets a runny nose, but then that's it. She's just running around the house screaming. Whatever it is, I get it. Dead. Plague. And then mine lasts like 2 weeks. And by the time I'm over that, she brings in something else. She's got another one from school or holiday parties, whatever. But hey, you know what? We toughened it out for one last week because folks like Smoker here. I mean, he says week 18, week 2 of the championship, 2-week championship. So hey, we're here for you, brother. We've been digging through all of it, incentives, who's going to play hard, who's not, and we'll give you that info today, man. Definitely let us know if you have start sits. We got you.
Yeah, there's definitely some information that needs to happen here because there are teams that are, I had a guy who just sent me an email who's also got a week 18 second week of the matchup here, and I'm looking at his lineup and I'm like, dude, you have 3 Packers in your lineup right now.
Nightmare.
Get them all out, right? I mean, Eagles, Chargers, Packers, those are 3 teams that have nothing left to play for, right? Their seeding is their seeding, and they're pretty much locked in there. But then we've got teams that we don't even know if we can trust them or not, right? The Bills, right? If Houston wins, right, then, Bills play at 4 Eastern. If Houston wins, Bills are going to be locked into the 6th seed. So they've got no reason to play anybody.
Yeah. Should we just hit on it? Should we just hit on that right here at the top
of the show? Let's jump into it. Sure, why not?
Let's jump in, man. So I'll tell you, okay, so here's my read on it. There's 3 games where we know everyone's playing balls to the wall, right? That's the Panthers, Tampa Bay, Baltimore, Pitt, Seattle, San Francisco. Those are kind of win and get in games. They are flat out win and get in games. And you look at the Vegas odds on that, and it looks like a healthy game. That's a big part for me this week is looking at, I'm saying, okay, what game actually has like a 1-point spread, 45 or more over under here, where the teams are playing for something. Because like some of these games, you can tell they're mailing in. Like you mentioned the Packers game, that game, 36-point over under in that game. So even if the shell of the Packers is, only a 7.5-point dog, they're not expecting much of either team in that game. That's like a stay away game, right? So for me, I'm looking at that. Those 3 games are locked in. After that, you've got some situations where we've heard that teams are going to play the starters. And for me, that's kind of enough, right? Like in the NFL football, we saw it from the Falcons this week. Like it's not in our minds. You think like, oh, maybe they'll just go out there and mail it in. That's not really how it works. When the boss says you're going to work today and you're going to play professional football, these guys usually go out and play. So for me, I look at a number of these games like Tennessee at Jacksonville, right? They're trying to get Cam Ward going. They're trying to build things, and Jacksonville has to win. I think both those teams are going to play, right? There's no reason for Tennessee to really just mail it in. They haven't been doing that.
No, they don't. They're all about, and they've been doing this for the last 6 weeks of the season right now, is that they've been auditioning kids for next year. They want to see what they've got. They want to see where the versatility is. And like we've talked about here, right? Cam Ward now, that's what, 4 or 5 straight games with at least 2 touchdown passes. They want to make sure, you need to be able to see if this guy is the guy, right? You need to be able to see that. It's no different, I mean, the Saints don't have anything to play for, but if you're not throwing Tyler Shuck out there on the regular, like what are you, you're already saying that he's out, right? Everybody was all in on Taysom Hill because of the packages and stuff like that. Then all of a sudden it kind of comes to light. And I even talked about this on the air. He had all of those packages because it was his final game in New Orleans.
Right.
And they're probably not bringing him back. And so you give a little last heroes goodbye and for that. And so I think that so when you look at a team like Tennessee, you expect them to put their best foot forward. And the Jaguars, like you said, Jaguars can actually come away with the number 1 seed. If Denver and the Patriots lose. Now the problem is that The Chargers are playing the Broncos, and they've already said that they're sitting Herbert. They're not doing anything. They're not, they're resting all their top guys. So that's kind of like a gimme there for Denver, right? New England, that was a little different story there. I don't know what's up with the with you guys up in New England there, but between Stephon Diggs and Christian Barmore, I'm pretty much hearing that the hottest team in football, nobody wants them to win. Everything's starting to like come to light now about domestic violence charges and all sorts of, criminal malfeasance. I love that word.
Pats fans were saying, Pats fans are like, yeah, now we're the Chiefs now. And it's like, not the way I wanted to be the Chiefs, dude.
Yeah. But I mean, the Jags, listen, if the Jags win, they win the division. And that's something, because I mean, they're competing with Houston. Yep. Houston's playing for the divisional title and to retain that number 5 seed. Jaguars are playing for that divisional title and potentially the number 1.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm with you. And then you already mentioned Saints and Falcons. I mean, we just watched the Falcons give Bijan 1 million touches, 200 yards. I don't see why the Saints and Falcons wouldn't play hard.
No. Did you? I mean, if Tampa Bay beats Carolina, they still need the Saints to beat the Falcons. Yes. So if the Saints don't beat the Falcons, if Tampa Bay wins and the Saints lose to the Falcons, then guess what? Carolina's in.
Yes, Carolina's in.
And Tampa, all for naught.
The funny thing is that the Falcons, even though the seeding decides it, they would all be 8-8 in the Falcons, or 8-9, and the Falcons can say they're co-champions of the NFC South. Right?
Co-divisional title.
Get a little piece of, they could get a little piece of that if they really want. So I think those teams will play to win. Dan Campbell already said that he's asking his guys to go out and play as hard as they can, which is what he does. He said there's a lot we can learn. Like you said, with these guys, like there's a lot we can learn. So they're going to play. So Detroit and Chicago, I'm kind of playing it that way with them. Cleveland and Cincinnati, everything I'm reading is that the starters are going to go and they're going to play it, because of Shedeur Sanders and all that too. Patriots and Dolphins, I expect the Dolphins to play spoiler. They've kind of been playing spoiler. And then the other one I'm not super worried about is the Cowboys and the Giants.
Yeah, that's.
I want to get your read on that. That's the one. That's one where I put it in that group. But what do you think about that game, man? Because the Giants, like they kind of got to lose, but they've been playing to win.
They've been playing to win. They kind of have to lose. I mean, listen, we know that the first the number 1 overall pick is already decided, right? Isn't that?
No, it's not. It's not decided. It's not decided. The only 2 teams that can get it are the Giants and the Raiders, right? If the Raiders lose, they get it no matter what, right?
Right.
If both the Raiders and if the Raiders win and the Giants lose, then the Giants get it.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Well, I in all honesty, so for me, I mean, come on, the Raiders, Kansas City, boy, is that going to be a dog crap
game. That's a nightmare game. I put that in its own category.
Right? I don't even want to talk about that.
That's its own category for me.
But looking at the, at the Giants-Cowboys game here with that 51.5 point game total.
I think they're expected to play.
I think they're expected to play. And if I'm the Giants, I want to see Jackson Dart finish this season strong. You've got your core. Here's the thing. The Raiders need that number 1 pick a lot more than the Giants do because the Giants have their core. You've got Jackson Dart, Cam Scatterbo, and Malik Neighbors. If you're the number 2 pick, best offensive lineman who's out there available to you, best defensive pass rusher, whatever the case may be, whoever's there at but at number 1, that's the Raiders, and they need the quarterback. They have to have the quarterback. You cannot tell me that the Raiders are going to go in there and they're going to be like, oh, yeah, we want to make sure that we've got like another solid offensive lineman. No, they need to like grab that QB. So if the Giants win, or they just kind of play hard here against Dallas, and if they do come out with a victory, what are they, the number 2 pick? I think they're okay with that. I don't think they really need. I don't know. Is there another team that can swoop in and steal the number 2?
There's one complicated scenario that could happen, which would have to include like 3 other teams panning out exactly right. That would actually put the Cardinals at 2.
Oh, okay.
The Cardinals are a team that it's in their best interest big time to lose because they could have the 2nd pick if they lose, their pick could be as far down as 7 though if they win. So like, which is kind of, I mean, if you talk about like what it would cost you to trade from 7 to 2 in the NFL draft, that's an entire another first round pick, right? Like that is a huge swing. So like that's this next group of games here that are like super iffy. And why not start with that one? Is that like the Cardinals, that Cardinals Rams game, and again, every game in this section also, I believe that we're about to talk about has an over under that's set under 40 because at least one of these teams is in a position to just kind of mail it in, right?
Right.
So like the Cardinals, man, the Cardinals need to lose. But if the 49ers win on Saturday, the Rams can't, I don't believe they can actually change their position at all either.
No,
If the
if the
Seahawks
49ers,
win,
if the 49ers win, then the 49ers take the division. Seattle goes to the number 5 seed,
yes,
and the Rams stay at
and they're
6.
stuck. So like that could be a game where it's like the Rams are just kind of tinkering around and they pull guys, and the Cardinals don't want to win either. Like that game, trying to stay away from that game for sure. But if the Seahawks win, then the Rams, when the Rams win, they get the 5th seed, and that does matter because the 5th seed gets to play the NFC South winner, which is like Bucks or Panthers, and that's way better than playing Eagles or Bears, in my opinion, on the road.
Yep.
So I think the Rams probably, again, that's one on Saturday night. We'll decide it. The Commanders and Eagles already said they're arresting Jalen Hurts. So, I mean, I don't want pieces of either side of that game. The over-under on that game now after the news is 38.5. Eagles still projected to win because it's the Commander, right? It's Josh Johnson. So I just don't want parts of that. You mentioned it earlier that the Chargers are going to rest Justin Herbert. Not good for us in Patriots land, but that one as well. 12.5-point favorites, 37.5-point over-under. So they're expecting Trey Lance to do nothing. So
they're expecting Lance to do nothing. They're also expecting the Broncos to just make sure that they go all out and fine-tune themselves.
Yeah. So what do you think about this question here in regards to that from our guy Dude Love? Say he's playing for most points. They go through week 18. He's got Harvey, who in any normal week we would just say Harvey for sure from that group. And we stick with that here in a game that they got to win.
I mean, I feel like we can stick with him there. Looking at his options though, in all honesty, I mean, I think Audric Estime is a great play here against Atlanta. And I'm telling you, man, I'm not against Malik Davis. Kid looks explosive here at the tail end of the season. Rushed for 100 yards, in a backup role after Javonte got hurt. Javante's probably not going to play this game here. I'm sure they're going to go with Malik Davis. So I would actually, while I do like Harvey, you could just look at the Broncos, and if if the Chargers are just rolling over and dying, then I mean, how much work is Harvey going to get there? That's a tough one there, but yeah.
The problem I run into, and it's a reason I don't like Emmanuel Wilson, is that like sometimes teams go even farther than you think they're going to go. You know what I mean? Like the Cowboys could come out and throw Jaden Blue and those guys in there and say, hey, let's see what these guys got too, So like, I think if Javonte Williams is ruled out, I like Malik Davis. I think I still just roll Harvey
and Estime.
Yeah, I think I do just to be safe. But if they just say Javonte is straight up out, I don't know if Harvey's the guy I take out. I think I would go Harvey.
So you're going Harvey no matter what.
I think I am because they would be so embarrassing for them to lose that game. I think they're going to play at, you know what I mean?
They're going to play 3/4 of strong football.
If they don't win that game, yeah, I think it's going to be at least because if they don't win that,
the question is at what point does Peyton pull the starters? How much do they need?
I think like the Patriots this last week. I think I wouldn't pull them until you got at least 30 points. Because
what a punk move there by the Patriots, taking Drake May out like that for the fourth quarter. Don't they realize that I needed more?
And we needed Brady's record to go down. We needed 6 touchdown passes. I mean, Belichick? What was it? The 6 touchdown pass game for Brady was 56-0 against the Titans.
Yeah,
like,
right.
That was the old Patriots.
Foot off the gas against the Jets like that. Come on.
Hey, that was the old Patriots way. So I'm going Harvey because I mean you gotta win the game. Because I mean if you lose that game, you have to literally play an entire full game another game. You know what I mean? Like it's just you can't put anything to question there. So that one's sketchy. I'm going Harvey and Estime. That one's sketchy. Green Bay, Minnesota, we already talked about. This Colts game is also sketchy for me because the Colts are they're going to start Riley Leonard, and I just don't know what that's going to look like, man. So I think the Colts are going to play to win, and they want to see what Riley Leonard has. I think they're going to get stomped on by the Texans. So I don't know. I might be shying away from that one a little, Bender. What do you? I mean, you're still starting like Nico Collins, though, right?
I'm still starting Nico Collins. I'm still if I want to start if I need a quarterback there, I think CJ Stroud is still in a perfectly fine spot. Just I mean, listen, again, I think the Texans are just going to be doing it with defense.
Yeah.
And and I think that's something else that we're going to see from Denver as well. You're going to see all the defensive starters out there. They're just going to stomp the offense, push the offensive lines around, and kind of basically just state their case there. So, but yeah, I mean, against the Colts, I mean, I'm not. I mean, that's another game that I'm definitely avoiding.
If you could avoid it, yeah. And then we get into these next two games that are like pretty scary. One of them is a complete nightmare, but the one that's kind of up in the air right now is Jets Bills. Right? We don't want to start Jets where we can avoid it. The Bills, though. So if Houston
I don't
and
know,
Jack,
Brees Hall, man, give him some volume.
yeah, it's true. Yeah,
Let him finish it out strong here. They gave him nothing but volume this past week against the Patriots.
Yeah, so you can actually Brees Hall's on the menu, and that's why this one's not as bad as the final game here. But the Jets Bills, the thing is, the Bills could rest and or pull their starters depending on what happens in these other games. Like if Houston and Jacksonville win like they're supposed to, they're big favorites, and then Denver comes out and they're up like, let's say at the end of the first quarter it's like 17-0 or 14-0. The Bills could pull their starters pretty quick because there's no reason for them to move. Their quarterback's got this like foot issue. So Bills, I'm a little worried about the Bills.
I'm a little worried about the Bills as well. I'm worried about the Patriots also. I know they're playing at the same time as Denver, but if they scoreboard watch and they see that Denver's up easily, I mean, if you're Mike Vrabel, are you going to leave Drake May in there knowing that you need, everything for the playoffs?
Yeah, so that's the thing, because you wonder with a different coach, like if this was Mike Tomlin, I'd be like, oh yeah, he'll leave him in there to try and get the MVP because he's a big player guy. But you're right, Vrabel is kind of a no nonsense guy. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think Vrabel's the kind of guy that would say, hey, we want this MVP for Drake, so we'll leave him in? Or I feel like you're right. He might be the kind of guy that says we don't care about that.
I mean, I think Sean McVay's already said that he doesn't even care about playoff seeding. So is he really going to care about keeping Stafford in that game?
I think honestly, and I tweeted this earlier, playoff seeding, I think these teams are realizing the reality, which is that no wild card team in the modern era has, since realignment in 2002, has hosted a single home game. Not one time. It's hypothetically possible, right? For like a 5 seed to face a 7 team in the conference championship, and then the 5 seed would get a home game. It hasn't happened. The last time it did happen was back before they realigned the divisions back in like 2001. Even the 4 seed, over that span, I went back and looked, Bender, over the last 25 years, 4 seeds only have 2 home games. 2. It was the Rams in like 2021 and the Cardinals in 2008. And that's a division winner. So like you're gonna play 3 games on the road no matter what. So I kind of get it. Like resting Justin Herbert, doing that, it really makes sense with the current setup for the playoffs. And until they change that, I don't see why teams wouldn't keep doing this. Which I don't know. It's not the best for the product, I feel.
Let's see. We got some interesting questions here in the chat. I just want to kind of jump in here. So we believe in Hall, but not Jonathan Taylor. It's not so much that I don't believe in Jonathan Taylor. It's that I believe very much in the Houston defense. Right. And Riley Leonard, and you're just going to stack the box against Jonathan Taylor. You are. I mean, that's bottom line there. You're going to force Riley Leonard to throw the ball. The Jets are still undecided whether or not they're even going to sign Brees Hall at the end. They gave him so much volume in this last game against the Patriots, and the game was a lost cause from like moment one. So you know that the Jets are just going to keep Brees Hall in there and let him go there. If the Colts are going to turn around there and they're going to be like, well, we need to kind of, look ahead for next year or whatever, are they going to really run Jonathan Taylor hard? And they really haven't run Jonathan Taylor all that hard over these last couple of weeks anyway. So, one of my favorite things about Jonathan Taylor was that he went in an 8-game span before their week 10 bye. In an 8-game span, he had 5 games where he scored 3 touchdowns. It was masterful. After the bye week and Daniel Jones was hurt, everything just kind of tapered off there for Jonathan Taylor. And if I'm the Colts and I'm looking ahead to next year, I want to make sure that my top running back does not get the unnecessary wear and tear. The Jets are hoping to maybe re-sign Brees Hall, but they're probably not really counting on it. And so, run him into the ground.
To that point, if Brees Hall again has another monster game, like if this is how crazy the compensatory pick formula ends up being, if Brees Hall gets $12 million a year, that's probably a 5th round pick. But if he gets like $14 or $15 million a year, that's a 4th round pick that you're getting back for that guy, for him just walking. You know what I mean? Which is why they weren't willing to trade him for a 4th round pick during the season, because like they knew that they could either sign him again or potentially get that pick anyway. So they want him to ball out one way or the other. They want him to either be there or they want him to ball. So I'm with you on that. And Taylor, yeah, I mean, you're probably starting both in this landscape with so many weird things going on, but Hall has been crushing. The matchup with Taylor sucks. And Riley Leonard could just completely faceplant here.
Yeah, definitely. Big Bando TV wants to talk a little dynasty here for a second.
Awesome.
Talk him off the ledge here, Coop. He wants Neighbors. You a Giants fan, buddy? Come on. How dumb am I to trade Puka Nacua for Neighbors and Worthy?
So I don't mind the idea of trading Puka for a package that includes Neighbors. I just don't like. I'm not a big Worthy fan.
Not a big Worthy guy, yeah.
Yeah, because the thing with Dynasty, and this is kind of how I evaluate young players, I look at the combination of what we need to get, right? I need to see, to fully evaluate a guy, I need to see scheme, talent, and opportunity. Those 3 things. And for some of these guys, like rookie JSN, he didn't get the opportunity, right? We thought he was talented. He didn't get the opportunity. And this year, when that all came together, boom, he was awesome, right? With a guy like Worthy, and we saw it with like years ago with Marquez Valdez-Scantling, he kept getting a big opportunity. He kept playing with good quarterbacks. He kept being in a good scheme, and he wasn't delivering. So that was a guy you sell. Xavier Worthy now, Howard, we've seen him play with Patrick Mahomes. We've seen him be the primary receiver. We've seen him now play the role he's supposed to play and play in the other role. And he's just not quite doing it. Right? It's not impressive. So, like, for me, that's a guy I'm actually looking to move on from while people still look at him and say, oh, yeah, he's young and he's on a good team. Like, I mean, so every once in a while, those guys just kind of something changes in the formula and they turn it around. I've seen it maybe a couple times. Devontae Adams, I guess, an example of a guy who had a couple down years and then in the 3rd year with a big role, some switch flipped. But like, I'm real nervous about Worthy. So I don't mind doing the trade, but I'd try and get something other than Worthy. And honestly, I would need somebody who's worth at least a 2nd round pick. Would you do it for Puka, for Neighbors, and just a 2nd round pick, Bender? Is that enough?
I mean, a 2nd round pick in Dynasty is not really that doesn't impress me at all either. I mean, if you're talking about right, maybe a 1st rounder in the rookie draft, then maybe I would kind of consider that if it's Neighbors and a 1st rounder for the rookie, because you still have to worry about what Neighbors is going to be like coming back. At least you know what you're getting from Puka Nacua.
Exactly.
You know what you're getting there.
That's where I stand on that. Yeah, I'm with Bender. Like I need somebody that's got 1st round. That if there was a rookie draft this year, you would use your 1st round pick on him or a 1st round pick itself.
Yeah.
We're gonna start on the channel. My plan here is I'm gonna take a little time during the playoffs to cool down here, and then we're coming back with some dynasty content and some best ball content for you guys that want to get into it. I'm gonna do my whole breakdown of all the different division, the teams going into free agency here. So it's gonna be nice for you dynasty guys here.
Well, Keyhud here had the other question to follow up the JT question before, and it's a start sit. Would you swap in Gainwell for Jonathan Taylor. That's a tough one because I mean, listen, Pittsburgh needs this win bad against the Ravens. They need it bad.
Yeah, I was getting, as John and Pemba calls it, I was getting an ice cream headache doing the rankings last night, man. It was because it's like you go in and you're like trying to do. I tried to sit down and be like, who would I start between these two guys? And it is tough. I mean, I do have Gainwell high. I'm starting Jonathan Taylor and Harvey. I mean, I'm definitely starting Harvey. I think stick with what you got, man. The one that makes me a little bit nervous is actually probably Dowdle. I might, if I'm going Gainwell over anyone, I might go Gainwell over Dowdle.
Interesting.
Because you're running.
Listen, I'm fine with that also.
Bucks, right?
I mean, you've got an even split in Pittsburgh between Gainwell and Warren. It's an even split, basically. Right?
Yeah.
Dowdle, Hubbard. It's kind of an even split there. So it's going up against Tampa Bay versus going up against the Ravens.
Right.
And you got to remember, there's also no DK Metcalf.
Yeah. Which that doesn't necessarily help.
Well, it helps Gainwell's cause.
Yeah, in terms of targets, but maybe not moving the football. They struggle to move the ball there. I mean, those guys are so close to me, but if it's full PPR, I'm going Gainwell.
Yeah.
Guy's just been a target machine. So let us know.
Taylor, Harvey, full PPR, go Gainwell. Standard, use Dowdle.
Yeah.
Half,
I'm going Dowdle.
Half, you're going Dowdle also.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
For sure.
Beautiful. Oh, shit. Look who's here.
Oh, there
hey,
he is,
buddy.
Dude. There's a guy. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the incomparable Joey Wright.
Yes, Joey. Joey, if you're still in the chat, have you posted your Oscar picks for this year? I'm very interested. That's my my go-to guy. We talk football a lot, but he's my go-to guy for movie recommendations. Whenever the wife and kids are away, I'm hitting Joey. I'm like, give me something, dude. Give me something the wife wouldn't like. We're talking war, sci-fi, horror, whatever you got. He always comes through. So big shout out to Joey, man. That's my guy.
So he was offered Neighbors, Coker for Puka. No.
Nope, not enough.
Counter add his 2028 first in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you'll add a future third. I think that's fine.
That's what I would do. Yeah. The third. So, I mean, dude, the hit rate on third round picks, man, are not good. Like you go back through the history and you cherry pick all the good ones, like, Aaron Jones and Chris Godwin. Like you forget that the hit rate is still like 10% at best on those, man. So yeah, I'm going for it. All right, a couple more weeks on that. He's still in the lab. Joey took the rules seriously this year. I didn't even realize this, but up until this year, the Oscars didn't even require voters to watch every film nominated. Ridiculous. Now they have them on like a little tracking thing where they got to log in and do it like homework, like like you did in college or whatever. So interested to see how that changes things. Dowdle does have incentives for yards. Great point by Keyhud. I got a bunch in here if you want to hit on those real quick. The last game
let's talk about it. I mean, 7 yards per a million does not necessarily mean start the guy.
Yeah, I think you're gonna get that $1 million pretty quickly.
Fall forward for 7 yards for crying out loud.
Yeah. But just before we move on, that last game we didn't get to, that Kansas City Vegas game.
We didn't get to it for a reason there.
Brutal. Both teams need to lose bad. Kansas City, so Vegas needs to lose to have a shot at the first overall pick, but Kansas City can improve. They're in that range where like they can move up by like 4 or 5 spots if they lose. Both teams have been actively putting whoever they can on IR, right? Just to be like, look, let's just pack it in. So stay away from that game. I don't even know what the over-under for that game is, but
man, what happens to Travis Kelce if this is Kelce's last game? If Kelce retires, like, how do you deal with that? I mean, that's like you're sitting there, you're on the road, you're in Las Vegas,
15 targets.
You're gonna be all sorts of emotional. Yeah, I mean, I feel like you have to just keep feeding him the football no matter what. Do.
And Vegas better do something special for him. I don't know if they will.
I'm sure Taylor's going to be at the game, and I'm sure she's going to have something very special planned.
Actually, he hasn't even announced his retirement, so that I don't think they would necessarily do something special. He's also, him versus the Raiders is legit like the number one I think it's either number 1 or number 2 in all-time tight ends scoring versus one team. I think Antonio Gates used to just like destroy the Chiefs himself, but like those, like him versus the Raiders is like insane. It's like three, and he has like an entire career of points for a tight end just against the Raiders. So interesting final matchup there. But I don't know, over under 36.5. Chiefs are still favored, but that game's gonna suck.
Yeah, that game's definitely going to suck.
Flat out. Milestones, Bender. What are you looking at?
I don't know. What am I looking at here? You tell me. You're the one who busted out all that work, baby. What do you got for some of the biggest milestones and incentives aside from the fact that Rico Dowdle needs 7 yards for $1 million?
Let's play a game. I got the list, and I'll go through, and you tell me how much you care.
Okay.
For Rico Dowdle, 7 yards, $1 million. Effect on us negative, right?
Yeah, I don't care.
He doesn't get those 7 yards, man.
If he doesn't get those 7 yards, it's because owner Dave Tepper said, "You bench him. I'm not paying this dude $1 million for 7 yards."
He's out there in the tunnel before the game, just throwing banana peels all over the tunnel.
He's tapping him on the shoulder. He's like, "Rico, here, come talk to me real quick."
Yeah,
Come talk, and then he locks him in the equipment room.
That would be funny. How about this one? Nick Chubb, 94 yards to get 250K. Possible? Are going to give him a chance?
I kind of feel like you will give him a chance. I mean, no, actually, I don't know. 94 yards.
Must-win game.
That's a tough number to get to there, especially when you're talking about him being the backup to Woody Marks. You want to make sure that you've got the momentum going into, like, you'll give him opportunities, but you're not going to push unless he like breaks like a really big run. Like imagine Nick Chubb breaks like a 60-yard run at some point. Then I could turn around and I could see D'Amico Ryans being like, all right, let's give him the ball a couple more times and see if he can get it. But he has to break that big run first. Otherwise, you don't want to change up the game plan too much as you're trying to build momentum heading into the playoffs.
That's what I was thinking about exactly with somebody. We were talking about some of the other incentives, like the Stephon Diggs ones we'll get to in a second, where it's like 130 yards, that's a lot. But then you remember all it takes is one big play to get close enough for them to push it. I'm going to just real quick pull up the let's see where Chubb's props are sitting right now. The thing is, that's a must-win game, which kind of has me thinking they're not going to get cute with it. I got no props.
Yeah, it might be a little early for the Sunday props to come out. It's only
Too
Wednesday, Coop. It's only Wednesday.
They got passing. They got some passing props going on here. Come on, guys, get the lines out. All right, no lines yet on that. We'll keep an eye on that. Next one here, Hollywood Brown, 1 touchdown for 750K. 3 gets him another $1 million on top of that.
I mean, I personally don't care. I won't, rely on that. But I mean, I think if you, if I don't know what's Hollywood Brown's, what's his contract situation? Is he still on a multi-year deal here with the Chiefs? Are they going to keep him around? If you're going to keep him around, you try and get him a touchdown there. But if you're not going to keep him around,
no, it was only a 1 year deal.
Yeah. So, bye-bye.
Yeah. So, hey, if he gets 1, if he gets to 2, I'll tell you this, if he gets to 2, they got to give him a shot at 3.
If he gets to 2, you got to give him the shot.
You got to just keep chucking at him. Yeah. Here's one that I think is really doable and interesting, but it's Trey Lance at quarterback. Keenan Allen, 6 catches gets him $750,000. So not only is it doable, but it's a big payout.
It is a very big payout there. 6 catches, though, from Trey Lance. Is Trey Lance can even throw 6 passes?
Not 6 good ones, I don't think. That hurts, dude. That hurts. Stephon Diggs, the man of the hour here with everything going on. He's got a bunch. 30 yards gets him $500,000. If he gets an extra 100 yards on top of that, because he has incentives every 100 yards, so 130 yards gets him to $1 million total. And then 8 catches is another $500K. So if he were to come out and have 8 catches for 130, which is a big game, but not a crazy game, $1.5 million, right? You pay a lot of lawyer fees with that.
I was just going to say, he's got to post bail.
Right, dude. I mean, geez. I don't know. The Patriots on this one, I will say, last year when Jabril Peppers got in trouble, Robert Kraft came out and said, Peppers told us that he didn't do anything. We're going to stand by him. But if what he's accused of is true, then he's gone. That's what he said, and then they didn't release him. He said the easy thing to do would be release him, but we're going to stand by him and see what happens. Then the charges got dismissed, and and he stayed with the team. They ended up releasing him anyway for scheme reasons, but they basically said the same thing here with Diggs. They said Diggs came out, said I'm being accused of something I didn't do, and they're going to stick by him. So Drew Davenport's got the basics out. If you go check him out on Twitter with the legal situation, but I don't know. He's going to play this week, and who knows? I think based on the timeline of things, the commissioner would have to come in and put him on the exempt list to stop him from playing this season during the playoffs. So unless Goodell comes in and does that, expect him to play. But I don't know. Diggs is a guy that if I have him, I'm starting this week.
Yeah, if I have him, I'm starting him also. It's Miami. That's a team that's walking.
Yeah. Now Saquon Barkley, backup quarterback, 87 all-purpose yards, so they can put him back for kickoffs if they want.
I'm not. You know what? If I'm going to the playoffs, I'm not risking the health of Saquon Barkley. And Barkley's a guy who doesn't care about the personal records anyway, right? I mean, so I don't think this is even an issue here. I think you gotta sit Barkley if they're gonna sit Hurts, and they're gonna end up sitting, all of their starters.
He sat last year with like an all-time stamped in Canton record on the line, right? Like, so 80, 250K, that's like a watch for this guy at this stage. So Sam Darnold, he's got a bunch here. The ones that are most reasonable for him to hit: 150 passing yards, $500,000. 3 touchdowns, $500,000. Completion percentage, slight increase, $500,000. Passer rating, slight increase, $500,000. Thing is, though, must win games. So do you think I don't think he even cares about it. I don't think he's going to be thinking much about it.
I don't think it's a question of whether he's going to be thinking about it. I mean, the 150 yards is no big deal.
That's like, yeah, I mean, like, if he doesn't get that
against the 49ers and their shaky secondary, I don't think that's tough, too tough a situation either there. I mean, if you're worried, I don't think he's worrying about his completion percentage or his passer rating at all. But you know what? I mean, think about what this Saturday slate, this 2-game slate is going to look like, because I'm totally into it, right? I mean, everybody's going to be all about Brock Purdy and, everything that he's done. Sam Darnold could be that sleeper guy who like comes out and really balls out, and he ends up making himself some sweet little cash extra on the side there. But I think that 2-game slate, that's gonna be a monster of a fun time for sure.
Yeah, a great pick for the 2-game slate right in there, and I have him ranked in like QB1 range just because it's a nightmare this week. So Darnold, a good spot. Baker Mayfield also very close to. He's got the same incentives he had last year. If he finishes top 10 in certain stats or top 5 in the conference in certain stats, very close in yards and touchdowns. But again, that's another must-win one. So I like Baker this week as well for those reasons. And then this one, Deebo Samuel, 93 yards for 450K, 2 touchdowns for 250K. I mean, I don't know if I'm not really moving him up over that.
No, I'm not doing that. Again, that's another game that we talked about just avoiding altogether. Happy New Year there, Dan.
I just don't want to part. Yeah. We're avoiding those. So to kind of recap, I mean, I don't know if we're not doing anything crazy with these players. I mean, you're already starting Diggs. Sam Darnold is a great DFS play. But outside of that, I don't think there's anything to get too worked up over. And then for the matchup wise, guys, just to recap, if you can get guys in there for DFS, or if you're playing like Smokey is, Carolina, Tampa Bay, lock them in. Ravens, Steelers, lock them in. Seahawks, 49ers, lock them in. Rest of these games, we think they're going to be competitive games. Titans, Jags, Saints, Falcons, Browns, Bengals, Lions, Bears. And I want to put the Cowboys and Giants and the Dolphins in New England in there, but Howard, you pointed out there could be a little bit of weirdness going on there, right? Like Patriots could kind of.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if I'm the Patriots and I'm sitting there at halftime and I see that Denver's up by like 3 scores, and that the Chargers just aren't even punching back.
Yeah.
Then why am I gonna play my guys in the second half? Why am I gonna do that?
Same with that one, and the other one with the Giants, like they've been playing to win, but man, it would help them if they lose. So keep that in mind. Ones that we're not super pumped on, starting Colts with Riley Leonard. Don't want to do it. Packers are benching their starters, so I don't want Packers or Vikings.
Or
Chargers
Eagles.
at Broncos. Was that?
Or Eagles.
Or Eagles, no Eagles or Commanders. Eagles are resting their starters, so we don't want Commanders either. So kind of taking GB, the Packers and Vikings out of it. The Eagles and Commanders, we're out of it on them. I mean, the Chargers are benching Justin Herbert. Who knows who else they're going to bench? So you can start Texans, you can start Broncos, but I'm staying away from Colts and Chargers where I can. And then the Bills could rest guys. The Rams could rest guys. So you got to be
Here's
careful.
that question here from Keyhud, right? Starting Stafford, does he play the full game or seeding or case for MVP? If San Francisco beats Seattle on Saturday, then you can probably expect Stafford to not play the full game, if at all.
Right. And in that case, like I'm starting guys like Baker. If you like, I probably already rostered, but like Baker, Tyler Shuck, even.
Oh.
Tyler Shuck's been good in fantasy.
Boom. That's another big question right there because Darnold, Shuck, Darnold, Stroud, where are you leaning there?
I like Darnold. I have them ranked. I have Shuck at 12, Darnold at 13, Stroud at 14. But I think I'm going to move Darnold ahead of Shuck.
There you go.
I think I am because I like the matchup better. So Shuck's going to be the guy. Darnold's going to be the guy over them. The real crazy question is like, you start Darnold on Saturday because the outcome of that game is the one that determines the Stafford game. Like, I don't even know where to rank Stafford. You know what I mean? Like, I started at the bottom this week. I started at the very bottom this week.
Is Brady Cook at the bottom?
Because I was like, I got to do that. I got to do like, who do you rank last? So who do you think I ranked last this week?
Who's starting for the Chiefs this week?
Chris Olakun.
Is Olakun your last guy?
No, he's very far down there. Honestly,
Who's the last guy?
I've Riley Leonard.
Oh, poor Riley.
They brought Phillip Rivers in over him. I mean, I just can't imagine this guy's awesome. What if he is? And the whole Rivers thing was a mistake. But it's like, dude, listen to some of these quarterbacks that are starting this week. Riley Leonard, Brady Cook, Mac Brosmer, Kenny Pickett, Trey Lance, Tanner McKee, Quinn Ewers, Chris Olakun, Josh Johnson, Malik Willis. Okay? We only have 20 guys starting who actually are the starters for their team. Which is why we say don't make your championships week 18, guys.
Are we staying away from any NFL betting this weekend? We are not
staying away. We are not, dude. We're getting involved.
Tune into today's Fantasy Alarm show. Again, Fantasy Alarm on Sirius XM moved from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern. Jen Shark Bets Piacenti going to be joining with me today. We're going to be talking DFS. We're going to be talking about betting for this week. So lots of great stuff here. For sure. We are not going to say goodbye to the betting. Definitely not.
Yeah. So why don't we wrap things up here, Bender? Just give a quick, maybe a quick shout out to a couple players that we planted our flags on this offseason that hit for us, and then a little accountability on some guys that we were in on that didn't really do it. Where do you want to start? You want us to get the negatives out of the way first?
The negatives are the fun ones there. Okay, Kenneth Walker. The Hubbard.
Kill me, dude.
Do you remember what I said?
Kenneth Walker? Kenneth Walker was the worst kind of pick, dude, because at least if you took James Conner, he just went away and you could put somebody else in your lineup. Kenneth Walker just stayed in my lineup and it's like that Sideshow Bob gif where you're just stepping on rakes over and over again.
Well, see, here's the thing. Because in most leagues where I had Kenneth Walker, I handcuffed him to Zach Charbonnet. So it sort of softened the blow a little bit because there were times where I used Charbonnet. In leagues where I played against stupid Scott Frankel, right? And he kept boosting Charbonnet like a round or two earlier than what the ADP was saying, or where I was like where it made sense for me to grab him, then I lost out. So yeah, Walker was a bummer. Chuba losing the job.
Even the guessing game between Charbonnet and Walker was
not fun
though, because like Kenneth Walker finished like RB23 and Charbonnet was like RB25.
It was not fun.
Oh man, it was not fun. If one guy got the whole job, he would have been RB2.
Yeah, I just realized you kind of look like Shorzy from Letterkenny.
I haven't shaved
with
my.
the
I told Eric Bachman I wouldn't.
backwards hat. I just
I
started
told.
watching Shorzy.
Oh, Shorzy show. I gotta watch the original Leonard Kenny. I've watched the first like chunk of episodes, and then my wife was like, "I'm not watching
Oh
this,"
yeah, yeah.
so I gotta watch it.
My wife ditched on the Leonard Kenny also. Leonard Kenny, but Shorzy is actually because it's a spinoff. It's I like it a little bit better than the
Oh,
original
really?
Leonard Kenny.
Yeah. So I was doing Eric Bachman show, so I didn't shave my beard. I didn't trim my beard at all for 2 weeks just to get a little thickness. I didn't want him to be overshadowing me with his powerful beard, so I'm gonna trim it up a little bit this off season. But yeah, I gotta check all those out, dude. Okay, for me, I'll give another. Or actually, why don't you rattle yours? And
Oh, I just Keon Coleman, Christian Kirk, David Njoku.
yeah, Keon Coleman's another one of those guys where the only hope for him now is that it's an attitude problem that he can overcome, right?
I don't care.
Maybe in
I don't
Dynasty though,
care.
it's like
Dead to me.
he had the opportunity, blew
Dead
it.
to me.
Yeah. For me, Kyler Murray, and also kind of leagues where I drafted Murray with Marvin Harrison, those did not go well. Kenneth Walker, we already mentioned. Dalton Kincaid, man, just part-time guy that was hurt like the whole year, just never quite did anything. I had high hopes for Chigakonkwo, and he was fine in best ball at his ADP, but really was just never a startable guy. There are a couple rookies there. I went back. What I did is I went back and went through my underdog rostership to see who I had a lot of, because that really is kind of a, besides the flag plant show, which we did, which I had Kenneth Walker in that. Like that's a good way of being like, okay, who was I really in on? You know what I mean? And I oddly ended up with a lot of Kyle Williams and Trey Tucker, and they just didn't they didn't do
Trey
enough.
Harris.
They didn't do enough for Trey Harris. Yeah, sorry, not Trey Tucker.
Nobody
Trey
wants
Harris.
to be in on
Those
Trey
guys.
Tucker.
I was not in on Trey Tucker. I would have been better off being in on Trey Tucker. At least he had that 3 touchdown game. Okay, on to the good stuff though, man. The guys that helped us get the championship belts. And before we get to that, if you guys want to get a championship belt,
Yes.
or a championship, not a belt, but the championship necklace here, there's only one place to do it. USA Sports Fan Chains, and now's the time to do it when either you're the champion or you want to introduce a new tradition to your league, right? I think honestly, in my opinion, the best time to do it is when, you know what, somebody else wins and you can show up and be like, hey, I got this for all of us. Jimmy's going to wear it this year, but next year I'm taking it down and I'm going to be wearing it. I think now is the time of giving, the season of giving. And there's no better place to do it than USA Sports Fan Chains. These things are sturdy. They look great. They're made in the United States. And guess what? They're cheaper than any of the other guys that make them out there right now. Not cheaper, but more economical because they're high quality and they're less expensive, right? Not to mention, we have a 5% off code right now if you use promo code ALARM over there. Plus, I imagine last I checked, they have not hit the tax.
No, they have not.
They
They have not. I think they're probably at like 700 or 600 right now. So if you go to fantasyalarm.com/USA chains, then you'll be able to use the promo code ALARM, and it'll knock 5% off there, and then no tax as well. Then I think it's like the next 600 or 700 orders that come in, still no tax, so it becomes like 10 to 12% discount. And these things are amazing. Look how awesome we look.
They're awesome, man. So get one for yourself, get one for the league, man. If you want, get good A. They do the toilet bowl ones for whoever came in last. Make him wear that. Make him serve you guys drinks. Make sure everyone addresses you as champ moving forward. The important things that you got to do for an entire year after you win, because you got to take advantage of it. You know, with a 10-team, 12-team league, who knows when you're going to be up at the top again. So there you go. I see a few people in the chat sharing some of their guys that that let them down this year. Justin Jefferson, definitely a bummer. And Keyhood saying not his fault. I mean, you know what? Nobody's truly QB proof, right, Howard? Andre Johnson never even had a 10-touchdown season because he never had a great QB.
That is true. We do have a question
hey,
here,
we
do have one more question before we jump out. Here you go. He needs flex help. Henderson, Sutton, Malik Davis, or Emmanuel Wilson?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going Henderson. I am scared of Emmanuel Wilson because Emmanuel Wilson has been a pretty crucial part of this team. I think he's going to get. I don't think this is a situation where they say, "Hey, let's just get Emmanuel
No,
Wilson."
I think he gets
today.
rested.
I think he gets rested too. And then with Henderson, I think the Patriots are going to play to win for the most part. And like we saw with the Jets game, they pulled the starters in the third quarter, but they were already established and they were good to go. So I'm going there with Sutton. I do worry that with the other team mailing in, how much you're going to have to throw,
And then at the tight end spot here, Jake Tonjes. I think George Kittle plays this week. I don't know. I mean, we're going to have to wait and see what happens here. But I mean, in a must-win situation, I think George Kittle is probably going to be taking the field. I like Pitts out of this crew here because Atlanta can definitely play spoiler here, and they can chip away and get that share of the NFC South title.
Right, you go Pitts and last week. You saw the game script. Bijan ran all over the place. They only threw 20 passes. Drake London, no, it's not like they were throwing the ball to somebody else. They just weren't throwing much. So I'm going there. I do like Tonjes though if Kittle's out, but not
if Kittle's out. Yes,
if Kittle's out, I'll have Tonjes ranked like tight end 8 or 9 probably this week. Definitely top 10, definitely. But I'm going Pitts there. Yeah, we got some other ones. Brian Thomas, yeah, that was a tough one. I think he has a chance to adapt to that role and potentially have a better year in that Mike Evans split end role, but it's a tough assignment in that offense. So BTJ definitely not worth where he was picked. Ashton Genty was not worth where he was picked.
No,
I didn't have too many of those guys.
All right. Well, Coop's coughing away. Here you go. Once again, sick, lame, and weary. He's got articles to write. I've got articles to write. So again, as always, we thank you guys for joining us here on Alarm Fantasy Football. We won't have a show tomorrow on New Year's Day, but Coop will be here on Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern, as they're breaking down some FFPC work. And again, Fantasy Alarm on SiriusXM. Today it's 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow it's 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern with me and Coop. And then on Friday, we're going to be 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern, me and Coop, as we get you guys ready for everything for week 18. So, Coop, any final thoughts here that you want to share with the crew?
I just want to say thank you guys so much for all the support this year. Really means the world. We do our best to help you guys, and you guys being part of the family is how we do what we do. So congratulations to all the winners, to all the losers. Good luck next year. And to all of you guys, one final Wednesday
with nothing but love.
Adios, turd nuggets.